I blew it yesterday. I really blew it. I am a relational expert, and I blew it with my friend and my contractor. Good evening, everybody. I am Chuck Rogers, a licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
That was hard to roll out after that,
Yeah,
wasn't
it really was, yeah.
That's okay. I'm Keith Dunn, and I'm a network engineer.
And together we are Tabletop Coffee, and tonight we're talking about how I blew it, but trying to do life well, being bold.
And never, ever bitter.
Stay tuned and we'll talk about it.
You know, I was driving back from seeing Ashley and Kyle over the weekend on Sunday, and I thought I would drive right past your business just to see how great the parking lot was.
The parking lot, yes.
And you can see it from Timberlake Road as you drive right out the front here. You can see right down the back area and see the parking lot, and I saw the parking lot, and it looked great. It was, the blacktop was there, and it looked like that was all finished.
Oh, yeah.
But man, there were no lines on it.
There was not a line one.
And that was Sunday.
Whatsoever.
Yeah, that was Sunday.
Yeah. They finished the blacktop parking lot last Friday, and it's been this whole ordeal. We've had that parking lot shut down because they had to do grading and all kinds of stuff. Our neighbors have been very gracious to us, Tommy Vaughn and Central Technology Solutions, and their tenants. Tommy sent out emails to them and said, we're going to be good neighbors. We're going to share our parking lot with Chuck and Wyndhurst Counseling and Wellness so that they can make a great parking lot. But in the meantime, we have to have a place to park our cars. So they let us use their parking lot for all week and on Memorial Day.
And that's so fabulous. What they did... Because that parking lot that was being, it was still being used even though it was a gravel lot. And it would park 20 cars at the time?
About 30.
About 30 cars. Yeah. Okay.
We didn't use that many, but it would park about 30 cars.
Yeah. So this was a big deal to not have that parking lot.
So they let us use their lot, and it worked well for the week.
Yeah.
And then... I was hoping that they would stripe it. They would put the lines on it over the weekend. And it didn't happen. I was told it might happen. And there was some rain involved. And then Monday, of course, was wonderful and sunny, and it was Memorial Day.
Yes, it was. It was a beautiful day.
And they didn't come.
Okay.
So my thought was, I'll remedy the situation. I take the orange pylons, the big cones, and we'll block off half the parking lot.
Okay.
And then they can stripe half the parking lot, and then next day they can come back and stripe the other half, and that way we can use it and have a place to park for our staff and for our clients.
Okay.
And I get a text from my friend and my contractor, Pete Chamberlain.
Yep.
And he says, hey, they're going to be there at 11 o'clock to stripe it. Make sure nobody parks in that parking lot.
Okay.
And my reply was, well, they can have half of the parking lot because we need half of it. And he said, no, they're going to want to do the whole thing. And I said, they may want to do the whole thing, but they can have half. And he says, I'll be there in 5 minutes. We're texting. And he comes, and he's in the parking lot, and the gentleman, Mr. Wells, who did the blacktopping for us, is in the parking lot as well. And we're talking through these options, and I said... They had all weekend to do the parking lot. Mr. Wells says to me, well, there was rain involved. I said, it didn't rain at all yesterday, which was Monday, Memorial Day. And Pete says, well, it was Memorial Day. And then here's where I went wrong.
Okay.
I said, usually I'm a very laid-back guy, but I got to tell you, I am angry. And I said that, and I said it like that with intensity. But then I said, this is ridiculous. And I said it with contempt, and it was just the wrong attitude. It was very ungodly, and I walked away. And I knew it was best that I walked away at that point because it wasn't getting any better. And some of us parked in the grass and did some other things that day, and I walked away feeling really heavy because I didn't reveal my Heavenly Father. I revealed someone, but it was not him. And I apologized to Pete by text and said, my goal in life is to honor God and glorify him. And I didn't reveal him. I revealed somebody, but it wasn't him. And then I said, I think I'm right.
Okay.
because they had 3 days to do it. Could have worked it in.
Right.
And didn't. And I said, being Memorial Day doesn't impress me. Not that I'm not impressed with Memorial Day.
Right.
But my thought was you could work it in there. Again, different people have different opinions. And I know you do. I know you kind of differ with me on that. But the point is, the way I handled it was...
Right. That's what it boils down to.
It was wrong. And what I told Pete was that even if I was right, I shouldn't write myself a license to do wrong. And that's what I did.
Right. And we've talked about that a number of times too. And it's so easy to do and to step into that in the moment. Yeah.
And we talked about it at coffee this morning when you were having
did.
coffee. And it was really perplexing because I was like, if I were to go back in time,
right,
I don't know what I would do differently. I don't know what a better I know what a better outcome would be for me to not say that.
We talked through that whole thing of, would it have been better not to say anything at all or...
Be a doormat.
Yeah, be a doormat, completely get walked on through every process. And that can lead to all kinds of things in life as well. Yeah. But, man, you had an aha moment a couple minutes later.
I did. If I could go back in time, I would do it differently by practicing what I preach, because you do not have a right to complain for that which you have not asked.
Correct. Yeah.
And I would have asked more specifically.
Okay.
I would have said, my preference would be that you come on Saturday, Sunday, or Monday.
Right.
You have 3 days as fallback, depending on weather and people's schedules and the holiday. My preference would be that you do it on one of those days.
Okay.
But if you can't, and I truly get that, then come one day next week, stripe half of it.
Yeah.
We'll use pylons and we'll use the other half. And then the next day, stripe the other half.
Yeah.
So you do whatever is best for you. Do it on one of those 3 days on the weekend, or stripe half the parking lot at a time. And that's what I would have done. And I think that would have solved it, I think
so too, because when we were talking about it this morning, my thought through that process was, okay, it makes sense to do it that way because you're setting expectations ahead of time. And then if something goes wrong, it's no longer really your concern, it's on the other person to meet what they have agreed to.
Yeah, choose one of those options.
That's right.
I'm okay with either one.
Yeah, and you're the customer at that point, so that makes perfect sense. So you kind of step out of that process of getting to that other state that you got to.
Yeah. So there you are, my big faux pas as of yesterday. This one's really fresh for me. I hope that you learned something from it. If you have any comments, we would appreciate you putting those comments down below.
Yeah, definitely. Be sure to subscribe and ding that bell for upcoming episodes.
Make sure to like it.
Yeah, share it with your friends.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time.
I like it.
I think it worked.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I think that's good. You know what? I still think of you out there and you doing your thing of getting angry with someone. I'm always talking to you, and I'll tell Lisa, when Chuck's angry, that's just like my normal way of communicating with someone. And sometimes I wish Chuck would just get out there and say, I'm so angry. That won't ever happen. Throw something, throw a stick down, throw his phone on the ground, do something. Oh, no.
You're going to incorporate that into the video.
I am going to put this in. It's going to be good. Just once.